Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2023 and another part of the Journeyman with Chester. Today we have got our Season 4 transfer window special and we are getting ready for our first season in the Vanarama National League. So we've got to strengthen our squad. We've got to work out which players are going to be good enough to at least be squad players next season, which players are not going to be quite at that level going into next year. We're going to have to be pretty cutthroat, I think, and bring in almost a whole new squad of players with a nice big transfer budget, decent wage budget as well, and hopefully we can go into next season full of momentum after 24 games unbeaten towards the end of Season 3. So yeah, fingers crossed we can go in. Very, very difficult to beat. That's the plan anyway. But first things first, let's do our end of season review. So it's time for me to get rid of myself from there. The 2024-25 season. So these are our new arrivals. The best signing was Sam Sanders, who came in on a free transfer, of course, from York City. Scored 2 goals and 4 assists and 7.49 average rating. Other highlights were DJ Campton Sturridge, Bobby Jones, of course, in goal, Andre Brooks and Scorsese Dodomo. Apparently they were very unhappy with that. I don't really know why. Scorsese Dodomo wasn't on that much, £650 a week. But there you go, they weren't happy with that. Fair enough. Transfers out then, Declan Weeks, of course, went. Dominic Smith went. Cole Hall went. Darren Stevenson as well. Elliot Osborne and Joe Hardy also left the club at the end of last year. Season to remember, obviously FA Cup, won our first 2 matches against Redditch and Brightlingsea Regent, but went out to Hereford 1-0 in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. Nearly lost our job after that. We also went out in the first round of the FA Trophy 2-0 to Telford United, and that allowed us to fully focus on the league. Moments to remember, our biggest win was a 5-1 turnover of Braintree, Mooney, Glendon, Scorsese Dodomo and Harrison Burke on the score sheet there. Our match to remember was a 3-1 turnover of Oldham Athletic. Kellen Hickinson scoring a hat-trick there. And the goal of the season was Nathan Lowe, of course, a brilliant free kick from him from the edge of the area. One of the best free kicks I've ever seen. Burke, Lowe and Sanders on the score sheet there in a 3-0 victory over Altrincham. Our reputation has pretty much stayed the same since last season. Sponsorship has gone up. Corporate and hospitality has gone up. Competition prize money has definitely gone up. And match day commercial and retail has gone up. So lots and lots of positives there. We made 22,500 in merchandise. 448 replica shirts were sold, with the most popular being with Campton Sturridge on the back. Sanders, Chapman, Hickinson and Glendon also very popular. This is how we lined up then for the most part, with a 4-3-1-2. We had Bobby Jones in goal with Thomas, Sanders, Burke and Cranston in defence. Hickinson, Glendon and Fuster in the middle of the park. And apparently Horatio starting behind Campton Sturridge and Scorsese Dodomo, even though Horatio only played 2 matches with 7 from the bench. That is probably a bit of a glitch, let's be honest. The accolades then, player of the season, Sam Sanders. Young player of the season, Sam Sanders. Signing of the season, Sam Sanders. Goal of the season went to Nathan Lowe. Top goal scorer was DJ Campton Sturridge with 22. Billy Fuster had the most assists on 10. And Sam Sanders had the most player of the matches on 7. Highest average rating was Sam Sanders with 7.5. And most passes completed per 90 minutes was Harrison Burke with 59. New records then. So DJ Campton Sturridge has got the new goals in a season. Most assists by a player in a season was Billy Fuster. Youngest player, Horatio. Fastest goal was Kellen Hickinson. And youngest goal scorer, of course, Horatio. History in the making then. Chester dared to dream, and thanks to a great run way back at the start of the season, their promotion dreams came true. Chester flew out the traps and set themselves up for the most magical of promotions. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. And looking at the manager timeline now, if we play it, you can see lots and lots to do with Kidderminster in that first season. And then, of course, moving on through, we came to Chester. Then into the new season, you can see lots of the players that we brought in over the summer, investing in potential. Centurion there, we had our 100th match in a 1-1 draw with Southport. And then there is our going up. So our first promotion of the series. Absolutely brilliant. Right. So, players inducted into the overall best 11. Lovely to see there. There's our season review. Our supporter profile has changed. We actually lost 282 social media followers. We've increased our family offering, and our fair weather supporters have gone down a little bit. They want us to avoid relegation next year in the Vanarama National. Seasonal performance analyst report. Don't really look at too much of that, if I'm honest. New season team report. Plenty of room in the wage budget. Number of talented young prospects, including Harry Charles. He's come through the youth intake this year. He looks pretty damn good. 2-star ability, 5-star potential. Goalkeepers are generally dominant. Good to see. Tompkins issues season injury report. So TJ Bramble missed the last 4 weeks. Kellen Hickinson missed 3 weeks. Scorsi Dodomo 3 weeks. Very, very interesting there. Squad end of season break. Halliwell will be moving to FC United, apparently. And Chris G won the player of the season. He is contracted until next year. Very, very interesting. Now, we do have a vote for that. We are in it ourselves. I don't think we can vote for ourselves. We might be able to win it. I don't know. It would be great if we could. Let's go for Kevin Phillips for South Shields. Of course, they're coming up with us next season. That's going to be really, really exciting, which I'm looking forward to doing. Club vision and expectations. They are expecting us to avoid relegation. It isn't fight bravely against relegation, so we are going to have to do that. They want to change the culture to being defensively solid, playing direct football, playing counter-attacking football. I certainly want to get rid of them if I can. I don't like that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. See if we can do that. Usually you can't. Nah. It's just so annoying. It really winds me up that you cannot change it. Yeah, it's required. I've never been able to change that. But eventually they want us to be an established team, which is great. I'm not planning to replace with the right additions, I want to say. Yeah, that one. Oh dear. Offended. Oh dearie me. Yeah, let's just go back to that. Oh dear, have I ruined? Yeah, morale's still pretty good. But let's have a little look before we go off and start making some signings. Of course, we've lost sort of 2-3 weeks because of because of the playoffs. Let's see if I can request some of them. Campton Storage is going to consider his options. That's a bit disappointing. We did offer him a contract. Little bit annoyed by that, actually. It would be great if we could keep him around. Let's just have a little look at our squad and see who do we want to keep going into next year. So, Kieran Partington is on a non-contract. Would probably be a good idea to get him signed up, actually. So let's enter some contract negotiations. Future prospect. He's going to be on a part-timer contract. We're going to basically give him 50 quid a week. See if he likes that. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Perfect. Lee Angle will be going at the end of the year. We'll set him for release, no doubt about it. Joe Thomas is somebody I'm interested about. He's had a good season. He's 23 years old. Right back. You know what? I think he perhaps deserves another chance. He wants to be a star player, though. That's a little bit worrying. But we can promise him that and not give him it. It'll be all right. And he actually wants a 2-year contract. Let's bring him down to a year. Wants all of that stuff. You can get lost, Joe. 500 quids, that's okay. Jordan Cranston again. You know, a player that we can rely on. I think quite honestly, we want to keep a lot of the squad together for next year. He's not going to be a regular starter. Squad player is fine. You know, these guys are fairly cheap. We will get rid of a lot of the deadwood, but people that have played a great deal of football this year, you know, I don't want to lose them from the squad. George Glendon, again, you know, club captain, has had a very, very good couple of seasons for us. I think deserves a chance to keep going with us. I want him to be squad player, to be honest. Can we go regular starter? That'll do. Yeah, and he wants, you know, he's quite happy having a wage reduction. That's fine by me. 2 years on that. Takes him up to his 33rd birthday. Now, Luke Sharman, very interesting player. Of course, scored 27 goals in 34 starts for Fylde the year before. Only scored 8 in 13 for us. He's already on was on a decent contract with loads of different bonuses. Let's see if he'd be interested in staying with us. Regular starter. Let's get rid of all of these bonuses and see if we can keep him on a fairly cheap contract. Yes, we can. Okay, so Luke Sharman will stay as well. Kelsey Mooney, you know, didn't really play towards the end of the season. I think will not be good enough to make the step up, so he's going. Davey Aggie wants to leave. I'm not that bothered about keeping him. He's okay. He's not a bad player. But I think we can probably get better. Of course, DJ Campton Sturridge, we want to keep him about. Andre Brooks, again, has been a quiet little player. 9 assists this season. He's developing nicely. He's only 22 years old. I think we definitely want to bring him back for another year. So we'll drop him down to an important player this time. We'll remove all of these. And it's good to see, you know, quite a few of them want to commit to a longer amount of time with us. I'm going to try and get him to stick with 2 years. 3 years seems a lot, but we'll roll with it. Nathan Lowe, I'd love to keep him, but he does want to leave at the end of his contract, so he will be going. John Ashby is going to be going as well. TJ Campbell is. Matty Williams, you know, he's somebody decent to keep about, but he's only played 10 times this year. Of course, I don't think he can make the step up, if I'm honest. So he's going to be going. Halliwell's going to be going as well. Scorsi Dodomo, he's one that I'm struggling with. You know, he scored 17 goals this season. It wasn't bad, was it? It's whether we have but he wants to be an important player. He's just not going to get that sort of football. We'll go regular starter. I mean, 450 quid a week, but do I really want to give him 2 years? You know, let's try 1 year. You can only have a 1 year contract. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. So Scorsese Dodomo will be coming back. We've managed to reduce his wages, which is good. Will Stanway, again, somebody that we've relied on a little bit. He's very much going to be our backup goalkeeper, probably emergency backup, if I'm honest. But a good backup keeper to have nonetheless. We know that we've relied on him in the past. So fingers crossed he'll be able to do a good job for us going forward. Bobby Jones, as I say, I'd love to get him on board. His contract with Stockport is expiring at the end of the year. I think we're hopefully in a position now where we'll be able to bring him in permanently. He only conceded 42 goals in 45 appearances. That is an awesome return. And everybody else has signed up. However, I would like to get Harrison Burke on a longer contract if we can. He's very interested in doing that, and you can see he's on absolute pennies. He's on absolute pennies for how good this guy is. And he's a Chester youth product. Let's get him in on a 3-year contract. 550 quid. Beautiful. So Harrison Burke will be here for the next 3 years. He's a Chester born and bred player. He is going to be absolutely crucial at this club. Sam Sanders as well. I'd like to get him in for the upcoming years. He's going to be a star player. Let's have a little look at his current contract. So he wants a little bit of a wage rise. He's happy going for 3 seasons. He wants 50% of his sell-on percentage, which is an interesting one. Let's just reduce his wages down a little bit. You're not getting your way, Sam. There you go. 700 quid. You'll like it. Anybody else? I mean, Billy Fuster, he's somebody that we could try and get for an extra year. He's only 21. I'd like to see how he gets on in the above level before continuing. But I suppose it won't harm us to have a little look. Always like doing these contract negotiations. He's just signed a new deal, actually. So there you go. But yeah, lots and lots of contract talks there. Realistically, what we need is perhaps another goalkeeper. We need to try and bring in Bobby Jones, realistically. I'd love to be able to do that. Definitely 1 or 2 more centre-backs into the fold. Another right-back to be back up to Joe Thomas. Another left-back would be good. In the central midfield, I think we struggled a little bit towards the end of last season to have a bit of depth there. So a real top quality star central midfielder and a new star striker, because we may not be able to get DJ Campton Sturridge. But I'll see you guys if we do make any progress on those deals. Well, good news. DJ Campton Sturridge has signed a new contract. He's going to be with us for the next 2 years. I'm very, very happy about that, because he came into his own in the second half of the season. Did a good job, and if we can get Sharman and Scorsese Dodomo to sign new contracts as well, that'll be really, really helpful. So, good start of the summer, getting our best players committed. That's exactly what we're looking for at the end of the day. Well, first signing of the summer, and it's a big one. Bobby Jones has agreed to join us on a free transfer, which is absolutely brilliant. He's going to be joining us on 450 quid a week as our first choice goalkeeper. He's going to have a 3-year contract. I'm really, really happy about that. I mean, of course, we had Bobby at Kidderminster. We tried to bring him back. We did manage to bring him in last season, and he was superb. A very, very good goalkeeper. He's got excellent potential. I think he is somebody that will be playing League football in the near future. I do believe that he has got some great qualities. He's only 23 years old. And yeah, so he is going to be our first signing of the summer window. We are struggling a little bit to find players. Just to sort of let you know how I do it, head on to scouting players. We have had a few guys on trial, but generally I'm just looking for who are the best players according to our scouts. And we have a look at it. So Joe Hodge, 22 years old Irishman, looks pretty decent. To be honest with you, his contract will be expiring very, very soon. Could be potentially somebody that we look at. Maybe we could offer a trial. I don't know whether Boston would be interested in that. Yeah, that's the problem, you see. But he looks good on paper. He's got some good attributes. Had a decent season last year. But it's the grand old thing in non-league football. You might not be able to go for it. But yeah, we're keen on signing him. What will he say? So I mean, he wants a wage over £1,000. Demands are too high. Yeah, I mean, if we go in approach to sign, let's just have a little look at this to try and work out, is this going to be viable? Probably not. Yeah, £900. We'll wait until potentially he gets released. So we'll add him to the shortlist. He's on our shortlist. That's fine. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for essentially. Is players down here. I'll have a look at best performing players in the divisions last year, that sort of thing. See if we can pick up any great players. Okay, second signing of the window, Lloyd Marsh Hughes is going to be coming in from Gloucester. Had a very, very good season last year. Scored 25 goals in 35 starts in the Vanarama North. Scored 17 goals the season before that. So he knows how to find the net. I thought good replacement for Kelsey Mooney potentially. Looks like he's going to have some really good attributes at very, very cheap as well. Coming in as emergency backup, so won't be expecting to play too much. But yeah, second signing in the window. As I say, the signs are hard to come by at this point. I think we've kind of missed the boat a little bit in terms of the early wave of free players. So we're going to have to wait till July the 1st when all the contracts expire. Potentially. I am sort of looking through this every couple of days, trying to find some gems in there. There's not a lot really to look at. This guy, George Evans, looks like he could be somebody, can play anywhere down the spine, a little bit like Harrison Burke. But he's 30 years old, but was playing championship football a couple of seasons ago. I guess that's something to go off. Don't particularly know why he didn't play any football that season. Did okay last year. Could be somebody that we look at, but again, I really don't know. Let's put him on a trial, see if he comes in. But again, we might as well wait till the 1st of July at this point before really going for them. We have brought somebody in on trial, Tommy O'Reilly, 21-year-old English winger from Aston Villa. Looks like he could be a fairly decent player for us. Can certainly play on either side, and I think that's important. An important role for us when we're using the 4-4-2. We want to be using specialists in those roles. So I think we might actually have a little look at giving him a contract. Yeah, so regular starter. And he is going to be fairly cheap, which is one of the main attractions really. So we can bring him in for let's try and get him on 350. Yeah, perfect. So on a part-time 350 a week, that ain't half bad really. Well, another signing of the window then. Jacob Shepherd has come in. He's a 22-year-old winger. Let's get him confirmed. We have got a few other signings on the bubble as well, but we're competing with other clubs for those guys. That's going to be tough. But he is a winger. He can play on the right or the left. It looks pretty decent, to be honest with you. He's come in from West Brom. 3.5-star ability, 4-star potential. Definitely Vanarama National level. And somebody I think that could be good. He's got good attributes and definitely a player that we can look for. Also on the bubble are the following: Regan Bills, an 18-year-old English player. I mean, if we can get him, it would be incredible, but we've got Premier League clubs in for this guy. He's at Vanarama National standard, potentially championship level player. It would be unbelievable if we could get him. He's got some absolutely terrific attributes. Lots and lots of teams in for him. Watford in there. Birmingham City, who are in the Championship as well. Watford, of course, in the Premier League. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to get him, unfortunately. But we will try. We've put in an offer. We were the first to put in an offer. Maybe that will... that will work in our favour, but yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if we could get him. And another guy, Joey Foodie, you might remember him. We had him on loan a couple of seasons ago. He's now being released by Sheffield Wednesday. He's come straight in on trial with us, and I think he would be a great signing if we could get him in. Potentially League 2 standard, but again, we've got bigger clubs in prospects or in the running, I should say. League 1, Wimbledon for one of them. So yeah, and our old rivals, Kidderminster. You just can't make it up. Right, a couple of signings that we are bringing in then. Cameron Gregory is coming in, and a guy called Charlie Caton is coming in as well. So Cameron Gregory is coming in as a backup goalkeeper. He's 25 years old, English, decent attributes in there. He spent last season on loan at Dorking, kept 6 clean sheets, only conceded 19 in 19, so he'll be playing understudy to Bobby Jones. Will Stanway will be our third goalkeeper next year. Looking forward to it. Hopefully he'll be a good player and keep Bobby Jones on his toes. Charlie Caton looks like a decent player, actually. Some excellent attributes in there. 22-year-old Welsh centre forward, can play as an advanced forward or pressing forward. We like both of those roles. Spent last season on loan at Halifax. Didn't really get much of a chance, but did score 2 goals despite only 1 start. And, you know, comes in as our third best striker. I forgot completely that Sam Sanders can play up top. That's absolutely hilarious. But comes in ahead of Luke Sharman and Scorsi Dodomo, and hopefully will be somebody that can work alongside Campton Sturridge quite well. So signings are coming along quite nicely. Well, 2 in, but we have lost Joey Footy to League 1 AFC Wimbledon. Really disappointed about that one. I would have loved to bring him back to the club, but he's gone. And he's, you know, on to a better life, I think. But Fallowfield is coming in. Ryan Fallowfield, who is a right-back, 29-year-old Englishman, can play anywhere down the right-hand side, has spent the last few years at York City, has league experience with Harrogate, should be a decent signing, actually. Looks like a good player at right-back, probably about the level of Joe Thomas, and some very good attributes in terms of his crossing pace. So should be what we're looking for, really, going forward. So we're going to bring him in. Not too bad. And this guy, Nelson Kumbeni, who is a 22-year-old Malawian international, has been playing at Bolton the last few years. Had a good couple of years in the Vanarama North for Spennymoor a couple of seasons ago, and Oldham last season. Will come in and do a decent job in the middle of the park. You know, can play there in defensive midfield if needed, but can also play a little bit further forward as well. So he's coming in. So 2 brand new signings to the club. And yeah, as I say, we're ticking along nicely, building that squad depth, which is exactly what we want to do. Okay, another signing, another centre-back. Brendan Horton has come in. He's not actually a centre-back, he's a left-back, can play anywhere down that left-hand side. I think, again, a decent signing, has been playing in National League over the last 3 years. Again, it's one of those depth signings, really, because we're going to be playing a lot of football this season. Unfortunately, Bills did go to Watford, surprise, surprise, the Premier League club. It would have been absolutely awesome if we could have brought him in, but you're just not going to be able to compete with that prestige. But it is what it is, we'll still try and keep finding the gems out there. But let's just have a little look at the season preview. Where are we expected to finish? So mid-table, the media are predicting at the moment. I'd be very, very happy with that. South Shields all the way up in third, so they're looking pretty good at the top. The initial media prediction, though, was 21st, so it shows that our signings that we're making are definitely positive signings. They're moving us up the league, really. But, yeah, squad coming together quite nicely, as I say. But it is going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We don't want to have a lot of unhappy players at the squad. But we're still looking a little light on numbers. I'd like another star striker, really, to complement our current selection. But I wouldn't be absolutely mad if this is what we ended up with. As I say, it would be great to have another centre-back in there as well. So I think that's kind of where our attentions have to go now. 2 new good centre-backs. Okay, another signing in the bank then. James Norris comes in. He is a 22-year-old English winger. We're certainly getting some decent wingers into the squad, so if we do need to change a tactic, that would be brilliant. He can play at left back, can play left wing, can play left midfield, centre midfield. Very, very good player. By the looks of it, decent Vanarama National level. Has been playing for Liverpool in their youth setup over the last few years, so has been playing football, which is exactly what we want. So another signing in the bank. Let's keep going. And almost immediately, we've got our next signing, Jack Leahy, who comes in, a 22-year-old English midfielder, can play anywhere in midfield that you ask of him. Again, has been playing for Cardiff over the last few years. I think is a decent player. Once again, a good Vanarama National level, has got potential to improve. So, again, another player. It's one of them. It could go brilliantly. It might not. We don't know yet. Okay then, another signing. It's been a little while since we've managed to get one, but Pierre-Emmanuel Ekwa-Elimbi has come in from Boston United. A decent season last year. I think he is a good player. I've had to fork out some actual money on him, though, which isn't fantastic. We're paying nearly £97,000 eventually. I know that's a lot of money at this level. But I think he is somebody that we need. We're really struggling for defenders, so we had the money in the transfer budget. So let's go out there, let's blow the transfer record signing and get him in there. And I think he will be a good player. He looks very, very good. So I am happy to bring him in. I'm hoping for one more player as well. We'll play all the way through to Bromley. He's a kid called Whittaker. Biggest deal before then was £18,000. So we have absolutely smashed the transfer record at Chester. I know you guys are going to think, wow, that's a lot of money to spend at National League level, but I just felt he was right. He kept coming up on the scout reports. I think we needed him. Oh no, he's gone to Dagenham and Redbridge. Oh, that's a real annoyance, because I accidentally clicked walk away on our first signing of him. Oh, that's really disappointing. I thought he could be a good player for us. I don't really think there's anybody else of interest at the moment, so I think we're all good. We'll get through to the Bromley game. Just double check that everything's gone. I've spent nearly an hour and a half playing through this. Yeah, let's go through all of this. Let's just assume Yeah, I said in the press conference, assume I was saying all the right things. Who knows? I didn't want to do all of that on the video, but yeah, it has took a long while to get through this pre-season, which it's good. I enjoy it, but yeah, we've struggled to get all of the players. I think we maybe could have, but yeah, obviously we'll put together a team tomorrow. I think we've put together a nice team. I think it'll be a very competitive team in this division. As I say, Lloyd Marsh-Hughes, not going to be much of a player, but did score a lot of goals at Vanarama North level last year. Alex Kenyon this year probably won't be playing too much, but you look at those current abilities, and the similar sort of players are going to be your main features, your Harrison Burke, your Billy Fuster, Sam Sanders, DJ Captain Sturridge, new boys James Norris, Jack Leahy are going to be in there. Kellen Hickinson, of course, is going to play a massive role. And we've had a terrific pre-season, beating Denver, Birmingham City, Stranraer and Buxton. Really strong performances as well. And if we look at the season preview, they are expecting us to finish 12th in the league this year. They are expecting South Shields to go and win the title this year. That would be mightily impressive if they managed that. They had a good pre-season as well, but they're a team going places, and that's wonderful to see. I mean, if we look at the Vanarama National League season preview, there are a couple of Shields players in there. There's none of our players in there, so yeah, a couple of players on the key players list, which is nice to see. Sam Sanders and DJ Captain Sturridge being on there. But overall, a very decent transfer window. We'll, of course, recap it tomorrow. Potentially could have been better. I think there are some great players in there. But as I say, we struggled to get real quality, and when we did find it, we couldn't compete with other teams, and that's just the way it goes. So, exciting times tomorrow. We've got the Bromley match away from home. We'll also play against Scunthorpe United. Can you believe they're down in the Vanarama National League? It's going to be a different world for us, and I'm just hoping that we can cling on at the start of this season and play some good football, because that's what we're here for at the end of the day. But we're going to go for it like we always do. If you have enjoyed this transfer special, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more FM videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.